Hey friends, we made it. Here we are, Crystal Lake. It's a beautiful day, gradually shifting to a slightly rainy day, which actually also feels nice in a weird way. Maybe it's coming from New Mexico. I just got back from a family 4th of July tennis tournament, which I did not win, but I did have a wonderful time connecting with family members and remembering people's names and how I'm related to whom, and it's always a grand family affair when I go. And it's been gorgeous. But there's something that showed up this morning for me about being here, and this is an experience I've had virtually every time I come here, and now I feel like I'm sharing it with Annalisa, because we got up and the first thing she wanted to do, as soon as I was up before her, but the first thing she wanted to do when she got up was jump in the lake. And I knew what this means, because this lake is not as warm as the pool we've been swimming in Albuquerque. And so I kind of knew there was going to be there might be some reckoning with what we have asked for in this event. But she got in and she was swimming around. She was swimming in the lake. She did eventually ask to get out and get in the pool. But I had this throughout that time, and then I went and warmed up tennis with my cousin, and just there's something that I have always felt when I come up here to this northern Michigan environment. And it's like I'm receiving a kind of elemental nourishment. It's like the water and the air and the sun and the life, the trees and the oxygen. It's such a nourishing feeling. And it's not, it often takes me out of my routine from home. In other words, at home, I have kind of a set routine that I go, how I spend my time, and it involves a lot of piano, and it involves a kind of like commitment to certain things, and a kind of I've talked about this on other posts. There's almost an attachment that can come in, which is its own thing. It's its own kind of thing to look at. But the fact is, I have a routine that really works for me, and that really feels good, and it really feels like I'm managing my energy well, and I'm using my time well. And I come up here, and it's like everything kind of goes out the window frequently. And part of that is just being on vacation. Vacation is always a little less structured than our regular life. But part of it is also this environment just asks me to do different things. It's like it's drawing me. The lake just draws me. I want to go jump in the lake again now. It's like I could just be immersed in the elements here in a way that feels incredibly nourishing. And I think that's something that I'm appreciating, not for the first time, but I'm appreciating it again, and it's just a wonderful reminder that can happen, and that because the other thing I notice is then when I do go back to my routine at home, whether my home's Albuquerque or Santa Fe or wherever I've lived, when I do go back to my routine, it's like I have this fresh perspective. I have energy. It's like I have nourishment. It's a weird. Maybe I'll be able to pinpoint this a little more as I go. Or maybe I don't need to. It may just be as simple as this place has an energetic, nourishing quality to it, and the elements of the planet, of the land, really have a big influence, really have a big impact on me. And it's like taking a supplement for my soul. or something. So I'm really enjoying that, and I'm, as I said, Annalisa she's whole hog in on the same thing. I see the same impulses in her. She wants to get in the lake. She wants to jump in the pool. She found my tennis rackets, and this happened before we left Albuquerque. She's never played tennis in her life. I don't even know if she's seen people play tennis. I mean, I guess we have some courts in the park near our house, so she's probably seen people play before, but she's never really shown an interest. But all of a sudden, we're going to Crystal Lake. My tennis rackets ended up in the kitchen, and she's like, how do you, and she starts picking up the tennis rackets and swinging them at the tennis tournament today. She picks up the racket and made Katie throw her the ball like for an hour. She just wanted to hit the tennis ball, tossed nicely to her, and she was hitting it really well. I was kind of amazed. There's a tennis pro there who said, she has really good attention span. You should put her in tennis lessons. I was like, okay. But it's almost, you wouldn't think this, I don't know, I sometimes don't buy that type of, that type of attraction is genetic, but it's something. It's something family-based. She knows what this place is about. Took her no time to figure that out. It's like she just has, her intuition just tells her, this is how this place works, this is how the land works, this is the energy we get here, this is the excitement we feel here. It's just amazing to feel that, to feel that I am sharing that with my daughter, who's still pretty young, but who's very clearly of this place in the same way that I am. So, yeah, elemental nourishment. That's the phrase that keeps coming back to me. It's like the elements of my body, the core of me is being nourished in a way. It's just beautiful. So I'm appreciating that, and I'm looking forward to a couple, we have a couple weeks now of this, so I'm hoping I can keep my piano a little bit on track and keep the stuff, there are things that I also sometimes leave this place and I'm like, ooh, I wish I hadn't dropped that ball quite so much. So I'm going to keep that in mind too, but feeling the pull of the land again, and feeling my own energy shift is really fun, and I'm letting it happen. I'm learning to surrender to it and not fight it and not try to impose my other routines on this place, and just let the land tell me what I need. Let the land teach me. So that's where I am today, folks. Happy 4th of July. Much love. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful, as I say frequently. I'm so grateful for this conversation. And it's incredible to have a forum where these ideas get voiced by me and then reflected back to me by you. So, thank you. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.